Nerdiest Prime.
Hi, and welcome to Nerdiest Prime. We are reviewing every episode of Star Trek Lower Decks, and we are on episode 8, Caves. And let's hear our first impressions. What is that, Alan? What was
I
that?
was trying to do 8, but it was very slow and it was wrong.
Did you put up all of
How
your
many
fingers
fingers
instead of...
I don't know what I was doing.
Hey, like and subscribe to this channel while we're at it.
There's a lot going on here I'm not comfortable with.
You'll be saying that a lot more soon enough. Lie down, bite on this.
What? I'm not gonna bite a shoe.
I love this episode. It was great. It really brought us kind of full circle on the multitude of cave episodes, the whole Planet Hell thing through the 90s. That just there's a lot of caves on Star Trek is my point. Anyway, and it was great because it gave us like little bits and pieces of great character stuff, and it gave us caves and all of the sort of things that happen in caves on Star Trek. Anyway, it was great. I loved it.
Yeah, I hear there's caves in this episode.
Nice.
No, I loved it. I thought it was great because it does what I love Lower Decks for, which is make fun of itself. And until this episode, I didn't realize how many caves there are in Star Trek, but there are a lot. There's you're right. There's one cave used like 100 times. Yeah, exactly. And now I'm thinking about all the episodes that I've seen that have caves in them. And I just watched sort of Kalis and DS9, and that's all caves. And that I think it's called sort of Kalis. Is that right, Alan?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
All right. So it's good. I really like this episode. I like the structure. I like the story. I like when the four of them are together and they're interacting, because to me that's when the most fun happens in these episodes, when it's the quad squad. They're like always a great time. So yeah, I really enjoyed it.
Yes, we have Lower Decks visiting Stage 16, Planet Hell.
It's stage 18.
Is it
Thank you very
18?
much.
I'm pretty sure it's 16, isn't it? I looked it up so I would know. So it sounds smart. So are you sure you're right, or am I...
It
I
was different
just
on
read it
Enterprise. It
Anyway,
was a different.
We should check
set
that
on
because I just
Enterprise.
read it a while ago, so I would get my facts straight.
Stage 18.
Well,
You're calling me out on it. But no time to Google right now. Yeah, it was great. We had it was a good standalone episode where you got the core four doing, having their nice relationship and seeing, their friendship do its thing. I don't know. And I was saying how much I wanted to see more Dr. Ta'ana, and we saw Dr. Ta'ana in this. That made me happy. And yeah, it was just it was like Namir said, just Trek making, or Jenny, I can't remember who said Trek making fun of itself, really. So, that has that one cave set with like the ramp, and like they drew it exactly like it appears in all the various, oh my God, countless dozens of Star Trek Next Generation to Voyager episodes. But yeah, good stuff.
This episode reminds me of Shades of Grey. And I don't mean that in a bad way, but they're making fun of cave episodes, but it's almost like they're kind of making fun of bottle shows with with flashbacks. And then the Moss alien, it was like totally reminded me of Nagilum from Where Silence Is Least. But he was like happy Nagilum. He was like,
Yeah.
just tell me stories, not like I will kill you all and see you die agonizing deaths and enjoy that. I liked the episode, but I didn't like it as much as the last two. But it was nice. Yeah. So I'm trying to think how many, because Alan, you were talking about this before we started recording. How many caves have been in Star Trek? Like how many episodes has caves in it? Let's just throw episodes that have caves in it.
Well, should I go back to my list that I started to draw?
Sort of
I
kill
mean,
us.
yeah. I mean, Captain's Holiday, Attached has some cave action. Chain of Command,
Chain of Command.
the one with that fake Picard son, the one with Worf's brother.
Yeah, Homeward. That's on my list.
Did you say Chain of Command already? Yeah, you did say Chain
Yeah.
of Command.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chain of Command had the best cave stuff in
there's
Next
so
Generation,
many.
I think.
Well,
Because they
yeah.
did
Actually, like
the little
climbing
rappelling.
and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, I know,
Yeah.
I know. Move Along Home.
Move Along
Exactly.
Home, yeah, where they
Oh,
fall
yeah.
off the cliff.
The jump, yeah.
Battle
Yeah.
lines with where they Kaiopaka dies.
Yep.
My God. Say
I know,
there's a ton
so
of Voyager
many.
ones too, like Basics when they're in the prehistoric
Yeah.
world with the dinosaur. Caretaker had it.
Yeah.
Oh, I got one. The Enemy.
The Enemy.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes. Oh,
That's
that's one
on
of
my
my
list,
favorite
too.
cave episodes.
That's
Yeah,
the
'cause
whole
it's got
episode's
the
in a
pit.
cave.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
Yes,
make
they-
real use of that stage
Mhm.
18.
And
Yeah.
Devil in the Dark, that was like the classic cave episode.
Oh, yeah.
What what our little girls made of, and Devil in the Dark were like the TOS cave episodes.
There's like hundreds of these episodes, right?
Well, that's what even Mariner says. Like, it seems like a third of our missions are in caves, and that's probably
I know,
right.
it's so great. And there's always a disaster. Like, they're just like, oh, great, now we're
Yeah,
blocked
cave
again.
in. Oh god,
Yeah.
Oh, well,
And
the cave in
Rutherford's
Harmonious,
like, Rutherford's like, I
Insurrection.
love caves. Their floors are so flat.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, so what about Rutherford giving birth?
I love that so much. I mean, first of all, because it's just like another, like, they did such a great job throwing in so many different Star Trek tropes into this, like, into all these stories. But it also gave us this other, a little more variation in Dr. Tana's character, which was awesome. And yeah, only like not like yes, but also no, and like that they didn't that there's a monster, but they like solved it Star Trek way, they didn't have to kill the monster, they just had to make friends with the monster. Anyway, that was
Well, that whole part was Devil in the Dark. That was
exactly.
It was like, I'm protecting my young. You're not really a monster.
It was also like totally a take up on another cave episode of Voyager. What was it called? I know it's not Partition, Partuition.
Oh yeah,
The one where Neelix and Tom Paris had that bird baby in the cave, and they gotta like give it food, and
Right.
and they're like cuddling it in his coat, and it was totally, that whole scene reminded me of Tom Paris and Neelix taking care of that puppet. So, yeah, that was.
Yeah, because the whole episode was that they were jealous and fighting over Kess, and then they had to go down.
Yeah.
on the
Yeah,
planet
and then they were.
and learn that really they weren't jealous.
Yeah.
And then they bonded over the baby
Yeah.
being co-dad.
And then there's also the episode where Trip gives birth
Yeah, it also
or gets
kind of
pregnant. Does he ever
echoed
actually give birth in that?
No.
Yeah.
But he grows nipples
No.
on his arms.
Yes.
was always fun.
Yes.
And he starts
Yeah.
showing.
But yeah, it's just like even that idea that it's just something that just happens, that he's freaked out, but he's not even that phased by it. It's just sort of like, oh, I wasn't expecting this to happen, but it's such a normal thing.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to add. I'm just enjoying listening to you guys talk about it. It's very entertaining. Well, my first reaction was like, is he pregnant? Oh, he is pregnant. Oh, is he going to give birth? He's going to give birth. And then it just happened. It was sort of like, oh, okay, it was cool. I mean, I liked it because it was like he was going through a real birth,
Yeah.
like there was no like immaculate conception or sugarcoating it. He was like, Tan's like, bite down on this boot. And he's like, why? It's not going to be that painful. And she's like, no, it's going to be really painful.
The next story, there was the aging and de-aging part where She was with the Mariner was with the Delta,
Delta
shift.
shift. That poor guy with the broken leg.
Poor Asif.
That was so
Like, can we
great.
go back for the leg? I feel like I need my leg. They mentioned Pergium, which is what they were mining in Devil in the Dark. So there's like a
Oh,
little
right,
nod
yeah.
there to that.
And again, it's just, you know, it's another like the aging thing, the, you know, the rapid aging, like, or also the rapid de-aging. Again, no one is freaked out. Everyone's just like, oh, this thing, oh, this is the thing that
Another day in
happens. You know?
Starfleet.
I just
Yeah.
love that. I love that. Something that I love so much about Lower Decks. You know, that all of these things that, you know, have happened in these shows that we're so familiar with that we don't even really think of like it, you know, it being this crazy thing. But when they talk about it in Lower Decks as though it's just something that happens all the time, it really, it's just, yeah, it just kind of reemphasizes, number one, how crazy the stuff is, but also just how much or how often it happens in Star Trek in general. So yeah, it's great.
Yeah, like they basically take Asif losing his limb totally in stride. And
Yeah.
Mariner's dragging him out of the time pit. And he's like, I think I need my leg. And she's like, I'm not going back in there. We'll just grow you another one. You know? You're like, oh yeah, they could do that in the future.
And then so there was the Vandorians. There was that whole with Boimler and the conspiracy theorist.
No, that was fun. We got to see the Vendorians again from the original animated series. It's cool to see them.
Oh, is
back.
that what they're from? I was wondering.
I didn't know that. Yeah.
They were totally made up.
They're from the episodes of Survivor, which I don't know much about, but I do know they're from the animated series. So a nice little throwback. I think that's probably the second one they brought back, because they brought back the Bem character in a couple seasons ago that splits apart.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah. So they like to bring back the classic animated aliens. Oh, and the Eric species, they brought them back too. So I guess they've had a history doing that. But yeah, it was kind of fun. It was kind of a take on current affairs, I guess, with the conspiracy theorists being a rampant thing now, more so than ever before. So they had at Star Trek doing a little bit of social current.
It kind of feels like that's something that Starfleet would have filtered out, in their selection process. No?
But can you? Some people just go down that rabbit hole sometimes later in life.
Okay, Jenny is about to come out with some awesome headcanon. I can smell it.
Well, it's funny because I liked how up until now he's been everything that he's said has been that kind of conspiracy theory that it's like, we all have that like Boimler reaction to it. But then the fact that he turned out to actually be this like pretty cool guy, or not cool guy, but yeah, like he was right about that. He isn't just a complete like nutcase. He actually, knows some stuff what he's talking about. I thought it was an interesting way to sort of redeem that character and give him a little more like that, make the conspiracy theory stuff. It's still a big part of him, but it's just a little less
radical,
like than
I didn't realize he was in other episodes.
There was another.
I don't remember anything.
There was another one where he literally was just Wolf 359 was an inside job.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and even the Vendorians are like, it's like they were fascinated by his mixture of fact and fiction. That's a very, very odd take. So much of what you say is fact and fiction mixed together.
Yeah.
And he's like, agree to disagree.
Yeah. But that all skill sets are useful, basically, in Starfleet in various ways. And
we have another episode too where Boimler kind of feels like the smart one, in like even in that segment he was like he's the straight-laced, head screwed on right, try and just cope with dealing with this wingnut that he's stuck with. We didn't have, again, clumsy buffoon Boimler. We had perfectly reasonable straight-laced Starfleet Boimler.
My favorite story was the Tendi Turbolift story.
That's nice.
It wasn't a cave story.
Yeah, it was
Was
clearly
irrelevant.
not.
But so, and I kind of felt that
And why?
because it was the first. She said it was the first day that she was on the Cerritos,
Mm.
and then I was like, oh, they're kind of doing a thing like the Voyager conspiracy, where they're no, is that no. So what's the one with the time ship with Seven goes back and she goes back to right before
Oh,
Relativity.
Yeah.
the caretaker. What is it?
Relativity.
Relativity. It kind of reminded me of that. I think we'll have. I'm going to start a wall, and I'm going to put everybody's name, and then there's going to be like a series of gold stars beside Alan's name. Every time he remembers the episode, and we're like, ding, gold
I
star.
want stars too.
I'm gonna
Well,
get
only
like a series of really sad faces.
You keep disappointing me with your lack of knowledge.
I just don't remember the titles. I remember what happens,
Yeah.
but not the titles.
I find your lack of titles disturbing. No, I can't.
You can't do that on this show. That's not right. Oh my
No.
God.
It felt so wrong doing
It
it.
did. It did. You couldn't even complete it.
So dirty.
I know. It's like, oh,
Dirty.
I apologize.
You should.
Wash those midichlorians
Okay,
off
so-
you.
I've been wondering, what are midi-chlorians?
Oh boy. Oh no, let's not. Okay. I see what's going on here. Jenny's trying to start something.
Okay, Turbolift story. Let's talk about let's talk about our impressions of the Turbolift story. Let's start with Amir.
You know, I'll be. It wasn't my favorite out of the four. I really liked the first one, but I like it because it's a nice sort of like, you know, end to the episode, right? You know, the episode is kind of about them being friends, but also realizing that, you know, they have other friends and, you know, conflict that comes out of that. But then Tendy's story is the story that brings it all back together again, because they're always going to be friends, you know, no matter what happens, and it's okay for them to have other friends. So I thought it was really nice. Like it wasn't funny, right? But it was just like really, really, you know, you watch it and you're like, oh, that was really nice, you know, especially that scene at the end where they're all like, I don't even know how this works, but they're all lying in each other's laps in the middle of the turbo lift. And you're like, that's a little strange, but you know, they're friends. Okay.
It's nice. Yeah.
But they had just become friends. They hadn't been friends for 4 years. They'd been friends for like 4 minutes.
No,
Yeah,
I think
exactly.
Tendy was new. Oh yeah, that's a good point. Tendy didn't really know them.
Yeah. I liked that it was set like right at the end of that first episode. You know, so it gave us just a little extra bit of, yeah, like we said in Relativity. Just what was happening right after that, you know, the first episode when all this stuff happened with the rage virus and everything. And yeah, I just thought that was I thought that was cool.
They were cleaning the rage stuff
Yeah.
off the walls. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I just thought it was nice. It was very, very nice, that bit.
And how do we feel about it being like basically a kind of like a flashback episode? What do they call that when they do that? A clip show. It's kind of like
Yeah.
a fake clip show because all the clips are not of previous episodes.
Well,
Well, that's a flashback,
Yeah.
really. It's not a
That's-
clip show if they're not using clips
Yeah.
from the show.
Well, but a clip show is a flashback show, but without clips.
No, a clip show is a budget-saving device using existing
Yes.
footage. Flashbacks
Yes.
is like new footage, new stories, and we're seeing, you know, new content.
I liked it.
It's not a clip show. I thought it was going to be, and then I was like,
Yeah,
I don't know
yeah.
about this. And then it was new, it was all new content. It was all new stories. It's more like an anthology, maybe within an episode, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What other episodes, Star Trek episodes, have done like flashbacks like that? The only one that I can think
Flashback?
of is Clues. Oh,
Wait,
flashback.
But Clues, but Clues actually, the whole episode is a loop, it isn't actually them flashing back to anything. Except Data has the moment of like think back to and remembers the tips. But
I almost.
yeah.
What?
That's
What is
cause and
it?
effect.
What?
That's not
You're
clue.
talking about cause and effect.
Oh,
I'm talking about clues.
oh, it does have flashbacks. You're right. I take it back. Yeah.
Thank you, Jenny.
I mean, half of Picard season 2. No, I'm just kidding. That was a joke.
Okay, let's talk
I'm
about.
just getting a rise out of you. Just trying to get a rise out of y'all.
just
By mentioning it.
Angering up the blood.
Yeah. Okay, let's mama. Let's I want to just, what is everybody's favorite story? So there was the Rutherford story, there was the Van Dorian story, there was the de-aging and aging story, and there was the Turbulent story. So which one was your favorite, Alan?
Oh, definitely Rutherford being pregnant, and that's just because I love Dr. Ta'ana and I wanted to see more of her, and she was so good in that clip, and such good chemistry with Rutherford, and I enjoy that.
Mm-hmm.
There's some good laughs in that segment.
Completely agree. I like that team up too. Of the two of them, that's something we haven't really seen before. And Rutherford is like, I really quite enjoy him generally. Like he's just a delight. Yeah.
He's so positive, even under such stress and challenges.
Exactly.
He's like so upbeat.
He's just like Namir. That's like when Namir was like.
It's true.
Years midsection comes in, like, oh, what's going on?
Exactly. This is so interesting.
Okay, Namir, what's your favorite story?
Yeah, I liked the first one. I liked the one with the Van Dorians because I think the Van Dorians are hilarious. Everything they do is a morality test.
Yeah.
it's
awesome.
It's amazing. And at the end of it, they're like, "Oh, it all worked out. They're friends again. That was their plan the entire time." It's so good. I think I like seeing new races, and the lower decks does it well. I guess not new because they were in the cartoon.
Yeah.
But it's great to see them again, and they're sort of different. Like their design is different. They look like squids, and they've got these great little unique insignias on their heads for some reason. I assume it's their names, but I don't know for sure. But I really like that. I like the first one a lot.
My favorite one was the Turbolift story.
Nice.
I don't care for caves and being stuck for caves generally. But I also thought that Tendi was so.
I don't like it.
It's true.
Yeah.
Stalagmites make you uncomfortable?
Oh my god.
I'm with you. They could fall at any point. You can get stuck in like a little part of the cave, and that's bad news. Could be jaguars in there.
The phallic, type thing.
Alan,
he makes them uncomfortable. I just keep thinking because he said where one little girl's made of, and I always remember William Shatner holding that freaking thing, and it looks like a giant.
It is quite something. Yeah, I just watched it earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're treading against some lines here. Just like
this will all end up on the cutting room floor. So
you're pushing some envelopes.
Lucas will cut all this out before it ends up online.
I don't think he will. Though. I don't think he will.
That's a lot of assumptions you're making there.
I can say whatever I want. Lucas will cut it. I don't know.
Turbolift story, yeah, I really like that, and especially because it kind of brought them all together, and it was, even though it was a flashback, it was also kind of an evolution of, in a way, and I like, even though they sort of touch on this often, is I really like when they're reinforcing that they're friends and they're really out, they're all different, but they're there for each other and they care for one another, and that's always nice. So, and I'm a big sucker for that kind of stuff.
Nice.
Okay, let's do our final thoughts and ratings.
8. I give it an 8. I liked it. I thought it was great. I really enjoyed it. I like these episodes where it's just the 4 of them, and they did this one well. And they told 3 really interesting
Mhm.
Yeah, I guess 4. Maybe even 5, including the main one. So it's 5 really interesting stories where everything kind of comes together. Super well told, really well animated, really funny,
Mhm.
and you get to learn more about all the characters that you like. So it's an 8. They didn't do anything with the main season storyline, which
Mhm.
I'm a little bit bummed about because I felt like it was picking up some speed, um, which is the only reason why it doesn't get a 9.
Yeah, well, I actually just heard, respond to Namir there. The Mike McMahon says like the last 2 episodes, they kind of go with the storyline, so that's going to ramp right up. So this one felt kind of like a bit of a calm before the storm, I guess. Kind of like I remember in the cards when
Mhm.
Nog and Jake tried to get the baseball card for Cisco just before the invasion of Deep Space Nine.
Mhm.
And that's kind of what we're doing here. Is like a nice, quiet, nice character-driven story. Kind of feels like a bottle show, a little claustrophobic because they're in a cave, and then we're going to get into like a lot of the more bombastic, edge of your seat, fight for your life type stuff, I guess, in the next couple. So yeah, I would give this one also an 8 out of 10. It was good Star Trek, good character story, funny, and I immediately saw what they were doing because you know the paper mache cave set is like a staple of Star Trek, and they just kind of they just drew it too, like to a T. It even looked like
Mhm.
the
They
Planet Health
nailed
set.
it.
They nailed it, yeah, and it was fun. It was cute to see them make fun of that. So
Mhm.
On stage 16.
stage 16. It is stage 16. I'm gonna look it up here while Jenny's
18.
giving her rating.
I can't wait for this moment.
I definitely gave it a 9 because I am interested in the season long story, but I also am very easily pleased and don't care so much that it detracted at all from my enjoyment of the whole thing because it was just nice. It just made me feel like I'm watching Star Trek, you know? Like really, like I'm watching Star Trek that's like about Star Trek. I really like that. Anyway, yeah, loved it. Great episode.
I liked the episode. I thought it was delightful and fun to watch. What's wrong, Alan?
What did you? Which stage did you say it was? 18?
Yes, 18.
It's stage 16. It says so right here.
Oh yeah,
I
when you
don't,
say Sage 16 like
Well,
out
I mean, if you flip it
loud,
around, but
yeah, yeah,
my text is backwards on the camera. But
yeah.
yeah,
Paramount
you
Stage
could be holding
16
anything up. Who
is
knows
the
what you're holding
Planet
up?
Hell set.
Look, it says stage 18. That's
Oh,
not true.
That's clearly made up.
No, it's right here on the piece of paper.
Definitely.
Okay, final thoughts. I liked the episode. I did not love the episode. I had a good time, but I'm probably going to forget this episode. So I'm going to give it a 7. Because that's just that very competently told story, but forgettable, probably. Yes, Jenny?
You know what? I want to give it a 9.5 simply because the episode is called Caves, and I love that a lot. Caves.
You love the
yep.
sound of the word caves?
No, I just love that it's just
It's so
caves. I just
simple. It's just
love
so
that.
simple.
You
Yeah.
know, like because
Just
Star
like
Trek, the episode names really vary from like this episode's about this to a joke name to some crazy like Latin.
Shakespearean, yeah.
Exactly. So, but I just love that they're following that kind of not pattern, but Lower Decks is definitely doing that with the episode titles in different ways and in funny ways, and just that they were just like caves. Back
Okay.
back to your
That's it. I got nothing.
okay.
Oh, I did end up watching Holograms all the way down.
Nice. How did you enjoy it?
I enjoyed it. I thought it was funny-ish.
Mhm.
I think it was approaching funny, not quite
Yeah.
there, but I
I
could
didn't
I
get the
could see
point of
it.
that one.
What's the
liked
point
it.
of any of them?
Yeah.
They're
I don't
supposed to be
know.
pointless.
It didn't quite get to warp speed, is what you're saying.
No, I think everything was just.
It didn't quite get to anything.
Yeah, no, but it's not supposed to. Like the whole thing is about the punchline at the end, right? Where
And what was the punchline?
it was the computer, right? Where they're like, computer end simulation, and then to the and then the computer goes, computer end simulation. And they're like, you can't do that. You're the computer. And it's like computer end, and then it cuts.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny.
Yeah.
Maybe I need to watch it again.
Maybe
in
the
theory, it's
humor
funny.
was too cerebral for me. Maybe
I liked it.
Yeah.
I did too.
You know, not to interrupt this thing, but
Just like, not to interrupt this riveting conversation.
I think you're right. I think stage 18 was Deep Space Nine. Something on Deep Space Nine was stage 18.
Oh my god!
Or it was
you're just trying to regain
yeah.
some nerd cred here.
It was
to wound
something,
it.
but yeah.
I'm sorry to wound you.
Got some dead air going here, guys.
Yeah.
Hey, folks,
Oh my
if you're
God.
enjoying
He
the
was so
show,
confident,
like
and now
and
then he
subscribe.
got cut down at the knees
Yeah.
by
Okay.
Google.
If you're enjoying the awkward silences, like and subscribe.
If you like seeing friendships slowly crumble in real time, like and subscribe.